Facebook.com/Home Sweet Home Chicago. Now, here's David Hochberg and Home Sweet Home Chicago.
312-981-7200, MegaPro's call, text, and photo line. 312-981-7200. 30-year fixed mortgage rates surged to highest level since 2018, according to Fox Business. Thanks, Fox Business, for writing something that I've been talking about for the past 7-8 weeks. It's nice that people, when our listeners...
What is it now?
See it. Well, here, this is wrong, too. The 30-year fixed rate surged to 4.67, according to this article from Fox Business, for the week ending March 31st, according to Freddie Mac's primary mortgage market survey. This is up from 4.42 last week and from 3.18 from last year. Hello.
Okay.
Yes.
What is it now?
It's in the high fours, low fives.
Okay.
The Freddie Mac fixed rate 30-year fixed loan increased again this week, their highest level since December of 2018, according to Realtor.com chief economist Danielle Hale. So,
in your view,
yes,
it's still the best time if you need to do something.
If you want to buy a home and you don't have $200-300 grand, you're gonna have to finance it. I mean, what are you gonna push against the pull door?
No, but even if you were gonna refinance, it could be.
If you're in the 6s and 7s and you got a ton of debt, yeah, still cheap money. You spread it out over 30 years. We're still getting 16 to 20 calls a day. A lot of our listeners. We're going to talk about a HELOC. A longtime listener sent me a text, but Steve's got some
push through a
push on a pull door.
Okay,
you like that? You want
like
to write that down so you can steal it for John Hanson's show later?
Yes.
Legal. What's it called? Legal Matters.
Let's get legal.
Let's get legal. He's got Money Matters. He's got so many that he does the Blackhawks thing.
It just matters.
He's got blockchain.
I don't want to drop any names, but I was on his show on Thursday night, the Money Matters show.
Oh my God, Steve,
it's like Janelle Iacchino over here.
You're so insecure.
Yeah,
remember when she called us insecure?
And she was right. Steve's got more airtime than you and I.
We're insecure.
My
breaking news: 312-981-7200. How many Americans file taxes with the IRS every year, according to the IRS? Stephen A. Leahy, go.
Last year, 115,861,000.
What was the first number?
Tax return. 115 million.
115.8 million Americans filed tax returns last year.
So
how many filed?
330 million in the United States. Right.
So you got kids.
You got kids. You got two joint taxes, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So there were 115.8 million tax returns filed. Mm-hmm. Okay. So.
And 114 million were electronic.
That's amazing, which is great.
Yeah,
because it speeds up the process.
Speeds up, but it's easier for you too, right? Like it's easier for everyone.
It is easier for everyone, and that's why I say if you file electronically and you include your banking information and it's accurate, you should get a refund within 21 days.
I will tell you another
nobody
fact.
touches it.
I'll tell you another fact. If you're filing for a mortgage and you're self-employed, and you file it electronically, and you push your CPA, you push the button, said click, and you get a confirmation from the IRS saying that we received your information, and you owe $1,234 for federal tax, pick a number, and you wrote the check to the IRS or sent it electronically, paid them the $1,234, you proof of payment, then we typically have to order a 4506T, which is a form that the IRS sends us your income information to verify what you're giving the loan originator is actually what you supplied to the tax preparer. That's a double check that we learned from 07-08 collapse. So every file has to have a 4506T, for all intents and purposes, especially if you're self-employed, not if you're a W-2 employee. But it helps if you owe your taxes and you haven't filed, and we can't get the 4506 back. If you show a receipt, the IRS received it, and you paid the amount and you show it came out, we could use the taxes that you provided without having to wait for the 4506 to come back for the IRS to get caught up.
Okay, so with COVID, right, the IRS kind of took a hiatus, right? They closed down. And so when I started sending in we have a power of attorney that I have to send to the IRS in order to get to represent somebody in front of the IRS. It was taking 8 months or longer for them to process that return. Now, in the last 3 weeks, this is unbelievable. I put a power of attorney in on Monday. Tuesday morning, I got all my transcripts in it.
Oh, good.
The next day, that never happened.
Well, good.
But it's all electronic now. It makes so it kind of this whole problem that the IRS is having. It's forcing them to go electronic, which is what they should have done anyway.
Modern technology.
But they didn't do it.
What this COVID has taught us as a country, we have changed the way that we do business. Okay,
Absolutely.
from medical, seeing doctors online, which was there before, but now it's prevalent. You're not traveling as much. Business, meetings and all of that stuff. We've adapted like Americans, like we do everything, and whatever obstacle is faced is thrown in our way. The American economy figures out a way, and the American consumer figures out a way to adjust and move forward. That's how you get better.
And it is better. A lot of this stuff is better, and we were moving that way anyway. But they forced you to do it. And again, the next day, that was unheard of.
That's good.
Yeah,
you sure it's not because they hired you?
Could be.
Do they have their eye on you, the IRS?
I hope not. I would say I'm squeaky clean because I know they're going to target me one day.
Put your hand on your heart.
I don't have a heart. I'm an attorney.
There you go. 312. Benny's going to clip that and use that later.
He knows it.
All right, we got to hit a break. If our listeners want to reach you, how do they reach you?
Go to WGNTaxman.com. WGNTaxman.com.
All right, special thanks before we hit the break. We got Jackie who's calling in about a HELOC question. Then we're going to get back over to Corey. Bonnie Pogby, Tim Hughes, Joan Ravejuris, Patricia Kraus, Rebecca Heredia, Lawrence Groack, Kathleen Jones, and Doug Wilson. Thank you for donating to the Behind the Vest, our Vestathon that we did. I want to get back to thanking. We've got about another 450 people to thank. We're going to do it in little pieces here. Jackie with a HELOC question as she's driving back to Colorado is coming up after the break. You're listening to Home Sweet Home Chicago on 720 WGN. Phone, text, and photo line are still open. 312-981-7200. That is brought to you by the fine people at MegaPros. Ready, Benny? Get us out of here, buddy.
I like to try before I buy. It's Lou Manfredini. Before I make a purchase, I like to see and feel the product. My friends at Access agree. That's why you can walk into their showroom any weekday or weekend by appointment, test ride their stair lifts and residential elevators. Take a ride, check out the finishes, experience the quality craftsmanship. Since 1990, Access are the leaders in ADA general contracting, dedicated to serving those with mobility challenges. From elevators and stair lifts to ramps, bathroom modifications, and more. Access provides dignity and independence so you can stay in your home. Their solution-oriented experts cover all of Illinois, Indiana, and Wisconsin. From a simple bathroom grab bar installation to a whole home modification, there is no job too big or too small. Call 844-IL-LIFTS. That's 844-IL-LIFTS. Or visit allaboutaccess.com and feel free to drop by any one of their showrooms in Roselle, Milwaukee, or Appleton, Wisconsin. And be sure to tell them that Lou sent you.
You may already know Mr. Floor for the beautiful wood floors that we install, sand, and refinish. Mr. Floor is a full-service local Chicagoland company who has provided homeowners and businesses with complete flooring solutions for over 30 years. Hi, I'm Igor Marak of Mr. Floor, and born out of our extensive experience and knowledge with hardwood floors comes the best hardwood floor cleaner on the market. As we visit Chicagoland homes and businesses every day, we see the damage that incorrect floor maintenance can cause. Most people are not cleaning their hardwood floors properly, and as we all know, a bucket of water and a mop is the surest way to ruin a wood floor. Forget about those harsh chemicals and cleaning products that leave your floors hazy and lifeless. We've researched, developed, and now produce the best hardwood floor cleaner ever. Our cleaner breaks the bonds of dirt and grease from your floor's coating without harming it. It's also eco and pet friendly too. Thousands of Mr. Floor clients have been using our cleaners for years, and now you can too. Visit us online at MrFloor.com to learn more and place your order.
Use promo code WGN at checkout for a special offer.
Mr. Floor, the first and last name in floors.
There are two things to do when selling your home. Job one, get the best deal you can. Other job one, find another great place to live. And that second part can be just as challenging as the first, right? That's why Amy Kite at Keller Williams Realty Infinity is the agent to call. With Amy Kite, you get a team that lists a lot of homes. They get info about new homes before they hit the public. You wonder where your next home's going to be? Let Amy Kite show you. And let's get cracking on that too. Rising interest rates can pinch the market. They can push prices down. And overpriced homes sit on the market and lose value. Amy Kite knows the Chicagoland market and will price your home to sell right now. And don't forget, inventory dropped to a new low, 1.1 months. This is a good time to sell, and Amy has the team, the market knowledge, and multiple platforms to get your home noticed. And once you're ready to move, she's got a great place to show you to. AmyWillSellYourHome.com. Amy's got real estate scholarship programs, too, for people who are looking to get into real estate. Visit AmyWillSellYourHome.com.
Stream WGN TV News live. Get today's top stories and breaking news. Skilling's weather. Download the WGN TV Plus app free on your smart TV. Home Sweet Home Chicago.
The texter pointed out I did make a mistake.
Pardon me, Mr. Perfect!
Mark this the first mistake I've made.
What did you do?
It's not free credit report. It's annual credit report.
Big mistake.
So you go to annualcreditreport.com.
Thank you for the correction.
I would say be careful how you type it because it would take you to a very unique set of sites. And then you start getting pop-up messages. Not that I know anything about that.
Now, here's David Hochberg and Home Sweet Home Chicago.
312-981-7200, 312-981-7200. We're huge in Colorado today, Corey. We're going to bring it to you right after this call, but this might have to go after the next break because this lady likes to talk. God, I'm just prepping all of our listeners.
The same lady?
This is Jackie. You know Jackie. Used to work here. Hi, Jackie.
Hi, how are you?
Great. She's married to Shanae.
Got it.
Okay.
Sure.
They're driving back to Colorado, listening to the show. I love Jackie. I love Lachey. I love Shanae more. We call her Lachey. That's her nickname, Joe.
Why do you call her that?
Just because I couldn't get it out and just wanted to go with it because I stumbled over her name.
Hey, Jackie.
Jackie, how are you?
I'm doing all right. How are you doing?
We're doing great. You guys are looking. Great question. Jackie texted me a question about a HELOC because they want to do some home improvements, her and Shanae. And I'm like, why don't you?
In Colorado?
Yeah, because they moved to Colorado.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, 4 years ago. How long did you ladies move to Colorado?
No, it was November of 2020.
Okay, so
Pandemic got us.
almost 2 years ago.
Jackie, I'm finally going to have that TV commercial that you did for me on TV.
I love it.
5 years ago.
Way long time ago.
2015. So what are you ladies looking to do? You bought a home, a beautiful home in Colorado, overlooking the hills. It's gorgeous, nicely done. We got you a mortgage. You have a 30-year fixed loan. What rate do you have?
I believe it was 3.8.
3.875. Okay. And how much are you guys looking to put on add to your house? I mean, how much are you looking?
Well, we actually don't know that. So our house is 2,300 square feet. It's a ranch-style house. We're looking at potentially either building up or building out. But after calling into Lou's show today, he said building up is a better option for us. But I'm guessing it's going to be 200,000 plus.
Got it. And Joe,
How big
you're
are the going
addition?
straight up the whole house? 2,300?
Sorry, what'd you say?
How many square feet are you adding up?
We have an architect coming on Friday.
Okay.
To show us more options. But before we even get there, my question was about the differences, the pros cons between HELOC and other loan types.
Sure.
To finance renovations, and then as it refers to the contractors, like when do they start taking payments and how does that work?
Joe, take the payment aspect. She's doing a major job. And knowing Jackie.
So take the payment. You're still, you're probably going to have to pay your architect.
Sure.
Right? And then you're probably
well,
going to...
actually, he's a family member, so that's a good thing.
Well, that's what... I don't do that with my family. But so...
Okay, so
but generally, it's going to be 10%, 5 to 10% that for startup permits, that kind of thing.
And knowing Jackie's not only going to go up, she will go back because it is a lot more difficult. And Jackie doesn't do anything simple.
I know that.
So she's, and I say that out of respect to Jackie because she is a hardworking gal and she likes
extremely creative.
Extremely creative. So how much do you owe on your first loan, Jack? Where are we at?
900.
Okay. And what's the place worth today? What's the place worth today? You bought it 2 years ago. Colorado's been on fire.
Right. 2 hours from now, how much is it going to be worth?
1.2.
1.2. Okay. So there's your biggest challenge, right? You know, because you have $300,000 worth of equity. You need $200,000 worth of equity. there's two ways to do it, right? If you called in and said, "Hey, David, I owe $300,000 on my home. It's worth 1.2. I want to add 200,000." It's a different conversation, completely different conversation. Okay, because then you compare and contrast home equity line of credits as opposed to doing a cash out refinance. It's opposing to put a construction loan on there. I would talk you out of the construction loan and go with the line of credit if you had that much equity, because you could finance your own construction with a HELOC. Okay. And then I would tell you to come back if you had a lot of equity in your home, which you don't. As much equity, you do have a lot of equity. $300,000 is a lot of money. But what I would say is that with the amount you want to pull out, you're probably looking at a home equity line of credit or a construction loan to do what you want to do. Okay? And then after it's done, because you basically have doubled, if not doubled, tripled the space, because she's going to bounce out. Now, she's not just going to go up. We both know.
But
Jackie.
here, are you saying? But Jackie can get 200 on her.
Yeah, she could go up to 90% of the value of her home. Okay.
On her home equity.
On the home equity at 1.2. Okay, so she could do 90% of 1.2, self-finance a couple of $100,000, or we could do a construction loan. The challenge with the construction loan is you have costs associated with the construction loan, Joe, as you know, and then you've got limitations on what you could do with the construction loan, and you have to get draws and everything on the HELOC, home equity line of credit. You're basically your own bank, and you can write checks as you go. So those are the two ways that you could look at doing it. With your situation, Jack, I'd connect you with our team at BMO Harris, pop out a HELOC up to 90% of the value of your home, and then self-finance. I'd get that in place now before property values start sliding, because I think property values will start sliding as the rates continue to go up. So let's get that HELOC on there while you have the highest value possible to qualify for the most. So you and Shanae could put whatever you want into the house that you could borrow against the HELOC. And then when the property's done, then we take a look at either keeping the HELOC out there and you just pay interest on the money or chunk it down, which I know you ladies are good at doing, or we combine it into a new loan to take the risk out of increasing interest rates on the $200,000 to $300,000, whatever you qualify for, on the HELOC. Does that make sense?
It does.
Okay.
It does. Thank you.
That's what I would do.
Awesome.
Jackie's a huge fan. Jackie's been a big fan when we were on the other station. And she was a big catalyst to try to get us over here.
I know.
And nobody listened to her, or else we would have been here sooner. But that's why we love Jackie. And
Jackie, where are you in Colorado?
Yeah, where are you at?
We're in Golden.
Oh, Golden. Love it. Beautiful. All right, well, hang out for your Mr. Floor cleaning product, Jackie and Shanae, and drive safely. Where are you at now? Are you driving through Iowa? Or are you past Iowa yet?
No, we're like 100 miles west of Lincoln, Nebraska. So I'm looking at a lot of dry farmland. All
right, a lot of Home Sweet Home Chicago. We're on till 1. So
good,
lucky you.
Good radio time.
And I'll tell you what, lucky you get double Stephen A. Leahy today.
Double Stephen A. Leahy.
You get your double dip. You get 2 scoops of Stephen A. Leahy because he's on with John Hanson, in case you didn't hear about that earlier.
Stephen Leahy plus Nebraska.
Stephen Leahy, you can listen to him and fall asleep while hopefully you got an electric car, because John Hanson will keep you awake. Stephen Leahy, but it's a whole nother story. All right, so send my best to Shanae. Hang on for your Mr. Floor cleaning product. As you know, in radio, we got to hit a break. Corey, we're coming back to you. We've got some questions about making sick homes healthy. Not only residential homes, but businesses as well, because there are a lot of sick business buildings out there that I want to talk to you about that the business owners don't know are sick. And I want you to point out telltale signs that a business owner should be looking for to make sure that they have a healthy building so their employees that come every day to work there are working in a safe and healthy environment. 312-981-7200 is the MegaPros call, text, and photo line. 312-981-7200. This is Home Sweet Home Chicago on AM 720 WGN.
When news breaks in Chicago or the world, you'll hear it here, and we'll talk about it here. This is Chicago's very own 720 WGN. Or download the WGN radio app and stream us live.
41 degrees at 11:30. Good morning. I'm Dave Schwann in for Don Kluppen, and the news is sponsored by Permaseal Basement Systems. Violent crime takes a downturn in Chicago. In sports, the Final Four getting underway this afternoon. Live coverage starting right here at 3:30 on 720 WGN and WGNradio.com. Bulls playing Miami tonight. Chicago Fire play Dallas this afternoon. And in baseball, Cubs playing Los Angeles, the White Sox playing Arizona. WGN traffic. Looking at some slow spots on the Eisenhower outbound at Western Avenue. That's because of an accident on the right shoulder at Western. Stop-and-go traffic on the Kennedy inbound between Division and the Byrne interchange. Also stop-and-go on the Dan Ryan between the Stevenson and the Byrne. And watch for an accident in the Morton Grove area in Niles. Waukegan Road at Dempster is the site of that accident. And also an accident in Niles itself at Toohey and Central. Violent crime in Chicago has declined. Chicago police report 593 shooting victims for the first 3 months of this year, down 15% from the same time last year. 128 people were killed. That's a 7% drop from this same period in 2021. However, the number of shooting victims is up 20% from 2 years ago. Murders up 31% compared to 2020. The former chief prosecutor of the International Criminal Court has called for Vladimir Putin to be arrested. Carla Del Ponte was telling Swiss media this today that Putin is a war criminal and said there were clear war crimes being committed in Ukraine. A prominent Ukrainian photojournalist who went missing last month in a combat zone near the capital has been found dead. Ukraine Prosecutor General Office said today that Max Levin was allegedly killed by the Russian military. He was 40 years old and worked as a photojournalist for many Ukrainian and international publications. Midway Airport is adding another new airline. Avelo Airlines announced it will add round-trip service to New Haven, Connecticut from Midway. Flights will start at the end of May. The forecast from the WGN Chicago Weather Center. A rain and snow mix this afternoon. Some accumulation is possible. High around 40. Clouds decreasing overnight tonight, a low of 32, but they will be back for tomorrow, Sunday, and a high of 51 for tomorrow, a little cooler near the lake. 41 now at O'Hare. I'm Dave Schwann, in for Don Kleppen on Chicago's very own 720 WGN.
It's David Hochberg for my good friend Mike Long and Mike's Landscape Lighting. When we illuminated our home, we hired Mike and his team at Mike's Landscape Lighting. Mike's team did an amazing job, and you wouldn't believe all the compliments we get from all our friends and neighbors who have also hired Mike to illuminate their home. Mike enhanced the curb appeal and improved the security of our home. From accent, pathway, and patio lighting to outdoor event lighting, Mike's Landscape Lighting does it all. Check out all the photos of his work at WGNMike.com. That's WGNMike.com.
BMO Harris is a proud sponsor of the Home Sweet Home Chicago radio program. If you, like many other homeowners right now, are considering a home renovation project, contact BMO Harris Bank to learn more about how they can help you finance your project. For more information, visit them at bmoharris.com/homesweethome. That's bmoharris.com/homesweethome. Or just click their link on the WGN Home Sweet Home Chicago program page.
I had the house for 20 years as original rain gutters, and they were getting in pretty bad shape. I got a few quotes from gutter companies as well as MegaPro. I was impressed with MegaPro more than the other gutter companies. They were really courteous. They came over and did a good job measuring and everything like that. And as we were going through the estimates for the rain gutters, Kyle noticed that by my chimney, they were missing a couple of sheets of aluminum siding up there. So he took care of that as well.
We are talking today with mega customer John Reed of Algonquin.
The other thing I did with them is I had original countertops, original kitchen, and all that kind of stuff. They came in and measured it and did a terrific job with it. Really pops the kitchen. Really looks good.
One mega call does it all.
847-658-8989. 847-658-8989.
Megapros.com.
One mega call does it all.
With everyone in a rush to renovate these days and supply chains moving at, well, a snail's pace, what's a person to do? Hey, I know. Why don't you head over to Builder's Supply Outlet? If you're like me, impatient, why wait when you can build a better bathroom today? Start your mornings in your own private sanctuary. Get ready at a sleek new vanity with a lighted makeup mirror. You don't have to pay a fortune to have high-end touches. As the largest vanity retailer in Chicagoland, Builder Supply Outlet has over 300 vanities in stock with the greatest assortment of colors, sizes, and wood finishes. They also have gorgeous quartz and granite tops made in the USA that arrive every other week, so there's always a fresh selection. Find the materials you need and the installation services at Builder's Supply Outlet. Oh, where is it, you ask? I'll tell ya. Just 5 miles east of the Oak Brook Shopping Mall on Cermak Road at 25th Avenue in Broadview. Or check them out at buildersuppplyoutlet.com. Build your better bathroom today.
Hi, I'm Lisa Dent. Join me Wednesdays after the 4:30 news when we explore Arizona. It's the year of AZ Discovery. Find out more at visitarizona.com.
WGN Radio's Anna Duplantis investigates. Stay on top of what's really going on in the city and suburbs. Investigative correspondent Anna Duplantis looks at local issues and gets you answers on Chicago's very own WGN Radio. Now, here's David Hochberg and Home Sweet Home Chicago.
I don't know about you, but I'm digging this new music, Joe. Just gets me in the mood.
Okay. Good for you.
Yeah. Steve should have said in the mood for what, and I'd be like, giving good radio, but he's asleep over there.
Giving
like,
good radio.
Yeah.
I've never heard it put that way.
Steve's like, yeah, that was pretty funny.
You've been giving good radio.
312. Come on, Steve, wake up. We got another hour
Here,
and a half
Dave, my son in Denver, Colorado.
Is listening.
Is listening.
Okay.
And he's like, well, how come you didn't give me a plug? But he didn't send me the name of his restaurant.
Okay, so where are we going with this?
I'll update you. It was a tease. It was a tease.
It was a tease, Joe.
I just want to let you, I still have
He's a radio professional.
I just want to let you know.
I told you we should rehearse this.
I just want to let you know I still have a son in Golden, Colorado. That's good. 312-981-7200, 312-981-7200. Sick buildings, residential, commercial. What are the telltale signs? Is it a smell? Is it a dryness in the air? Is it that you're constantly getting sick? Is it that employees are not showing up at work? What are the telltale signs for homeowners and listeners that rent? Because they could also have mold and home challenges, right? I mean, their apartment could be sick, if you will. And on the commercial side, what are telltale signs for business owners that own buildings, maybe that they work out of or own and rent out, that their building needs a little treatment?
Yeah, good question. So, and I've made this analogy many times throughout my career. You know, you talk about illness. If your body is injured or sick, you need to go see a medical professional, the heroes that help us with those issues. Well, if your building is sick, you need to call Blue Sky Restoration Contractors. We fix broken buildings. So if you've experienced damage to your building, fire or water, we know that smoke needs to be cleaned thoroughly. Water can lead to mold that needs to be addressed, and I've covered that on the air with you guys for a long time. I want to segue to your comment about a sick building. There's something else in our industry that we face. We've got an entire division dedicated to environmental issues. Environmental issues. Well, now we're moving beyond mold. We know the mold mitigation. We know how to remediate that. If you've got water damage, you need to address it. But there's other things that can be hidden in your building, like asbestos, lead-based paint. Okay, guys, these things are real. They're not going away.
Steve just walked out on you.
Steve's going away, but asbestos and lead-based paint is not. So, and now, if you have those in your building, it's not the end of the world. But any time that you're going to do any form of construction or disrupt those materials, you need to know what you're dealing with. You need to know if the home was built before 1978, the likelihood of lead-based paint is very high.
Let me ask you a quick question. What about, Joe, chime in here, the asbestos-lined wire? Is that still? Are you still finding that? Because on a couple of the homes that were built in,
that's like a cloth covering.
Yeah, a cloth covering. Is that it can't be safe, right? Cloth, because they did it for insulation back in the day, I think.
It is, but when you talk about asbestos abatement, that's where you're good, right? So you wouldn't do the electrical.
Well, it depends on what's going on. Is that material being disturbed? Is it in the work zone?
Exactly.
Does it need to be abated? And it's amazing where all you find asbestos. And you guys, it is still in the market. There are still products on the shelves that have asbestos in them. We find them in homes built recently. It is still out there. And anytime you're doing construction, you just need to know what you're dealing with. You're it's easy to.
So do you test?
We do.
Okay.
We do. We do test for asbestos. We do offer abatement, big and small. But really, it comes down to safety. The safety of our employees and the safety of our customers when we're working in a space. And you'll know when you see the cloth wrapped wires, or you see the spray on insulation, or you see
what about tiles? Yeah, tiles.
Oh, it's a dead giveaway. 9x9 tiles, you just have to assume that is asbestos. But sometimes you can see a 12x12 vinyl tile that's got a black mastic under it.
But here, all right, but if you have that and you're not moving it around, you're fine. You're not going to get sick.
Yeah. Asbestos is about being friable. It's about when it's disturbed.
Right.
So if you take that tile, break it. The dust that comes into the air, that is the problem. That's a friable asbestos that can go into the air.
What if you had a fire?
Well, on any fire, regardless of the age of the home, there's such traumatic damage to the home that we need to do some testing. You know, this stuff shows up in the drywall compound, it shows up in acoustic ceilings. We need to know what is there so we can address it properly. In a fire, a lot of times you do a lot of demolition. Maybe not the entire house, maybe it's a kitchen fire, and you're taking out the cabinets and the walls and cleaning the rest. But whenever you're performing demo or renovation, you just need to know the materials you're working with to keep yourself and your employees safe.
Why is it so bad? Does it create lung cancer? What are the negative health impacts of asbestos? I mean, everybody's like, it's like PMI. Oh, PMI. It's like just said asbestos.
Well,
I'm sure Jody will be having a conversation.
It's horrible.
It's Saturday. I'm staying in my room. Let's have this conversation on Monday on the radio. But let's go to that, right? Okay. I say private mortgage insurance, PMI, not the other one that Joe just said. And everybody freaks out. It's horrible, right? It's terrible. And I'm like, that just costs doing business, get you in the house with a lower down payment. But asbestos, as Joe just said, as long as you don't disturb it, it's fine. But if you disturb it, what happens?
We're not.
Well, no, but he's in the
no, but it's fibrous material. Fine enough to get in your lungs and stay there. As far as I'm concerned.
And I'm not a medical professional, but you guys have all heard of mesothelioma.
Yeah. Oh, that's what that is. It's from asbestos. Oh, that's why there's all those commercials.
Lawyers.
Okay. Got it. Whatever. Right.
I think I got it right.
No, you got it again. So that's mesothelioma. You just keep rolling. Nobody knows. But that's from asbestos. And they're going for the huge lawsuits from. Okay, I get it.
So again, not medical professional, but a blue sky restoration. We are restoration professionals. So we know how to look for these materials, test the materials, and more importantly, conduct our job safely. We are working in people's homes. We're working in people's businesses. If asbestos is present, it's not the end of the world. It just means another layer of protocol. Specific containment, air pressure manipulation. There's things that we can do to prevent any cross-contamination, abate the target materials, and then we can move forward with the restoration renovation project.
If our listeners want to reach out to you, what's best?
Blue Sky, 800-266-5677, or online, gobluesky.com. That is goblusky.com.
All right, thank you for all of that great information. We're going to take a quick break.
One second. Cord, you helped Mega out several times, and it started with smell. Whether it be a homeowner or even in our office, the smell is the first indication.
Yeah. Mega Pro Joe, you guys have been a wonderful referral partner for years. You've sent me hundreds of
Could you answer?
Yeah. Well.
Number one, check if Stephen A. Leahy is in the building. Right?
I'm saying, I'm trying to tell you, you did a great thing for us, okay?
That was my pleasure, Joe. So let's talk about your building. You had an issue in your building with a condensation leak in the HVAC. Okay, it happens. No big deal. Easy fix. But it was slow leak, and it wasn't known, and it leaked down into the ceiling cavity of your office space. All of a sudden, before a loss was known, an odor was known. And that's when you called out, we located this, very minor thing. I think all I had to do was remove a couple ceiling tiles, containment, direct cleaning, antimicrobial, dry it down, good to go.
How long did that take?
And a quick kind of mitigation project for that, that's a one-day service. It starts with the preparation, containment, the removal and cleaning, But anytime in the restoration space, there's going to be a little additional. I need the equipment to finish the job.
Sure.
So we're doing humidification, air movement, dry the structure, and HEPA air filtration.
So you were in there 4 days?
Yeah, one day.
But didn't disrupt their business at all.
Yeah, Fred, that's always the focus. When I'm working in a business, how can I keep you guys going? How can I address this issue but keep you guys going? So you saw in your space, we built a little box. We did a little cleaning. We set the equipment. One day quick service followed by 3 days of equipment on site, and we're done.
All right. 312-981-7200. Make a pros call, text, and photo line. Thank you to Douglas Wilson, Lori Harwood, Susan Johnson, Anita Goldberg, Susan Vandervoot, Linda Brannon, Thaddeus Matchnick, Douglas Dragos, Lisa Harvey, Thomas Bell, Janet Gooderham, and Donald Callahan.
How many did he
I don't know. We just keep going. It's all in the presentation, Joe.
This is the wrong thing for David Davis.
I totally agree. Gooderham.
How would you pronounce it, David? G-O-O-D-E-R-H.
The difference is I wouldn't.
His name?
I just hope that Mr. Goldenheim isn't saying
G-O-O-D-E-R-H-A-M. Gooderham.
I don't know.
Well, how else can you pronounce it?
Could you please call him Mr. Gooderham?
Well, thank you to Janet, who will never donate to anything that we do.
So the restaurant you want to go to in Denver, Colorado is and ask for a server named Handsome Joe.
Okay. There you go, Jackie and Sinead. When you get home and you hopefully stay awake during Steve Leahy's presentation with John Hanson, John will be exciting and entertaining.
He's a professional.
I know. Nice shot. 313-981-7200. 313-981-7200. He's been sitting on that for an hour.
He was looking for an opening.
I can't just he's getting chopping at me. All right, I know. Boom. 312-981-7200. Microphones, call, text, and photo. This is home to Chicago AM 720.
This is Rich Dykstra from Dykstra Home Service. Spring storms will be here soon, so you don't want to lose power. Don't be left in the dark without power for days. We have Generac whole home backup generators with 0% financing on sale now. We also do maintenance on most other brands of generators. Call today for a free in-home estimate at 1-800-421-3220 or DykstraHomeservices.com. That's DYKSTRA Homeservices.com and mention WGN for additional savings.
This is Jen from Dykstra Home Services. Did your air conditioner break down at the end of last summer and you said, I'll take care of it next summer? Well, guess what? Next summer is almost here and you still need a new unit. We have a pre-season sale happening right now on Carrier high-efficiency systems for the best price of the year. Don't delay. Call today at 1-800-421-3220. That's 1-800-421-3220. Or visit us at WGNCoolingGuide.com. Dykstra Home Services.
Carrier. Terms to extra.
Now that the woes of winter are behind us, it's a great time to make sure your roof and gutters are ready for the spring rains ahead. Hi, it's Michael Houston from Lindholm Roofing. Lindholm Roofing has appointments available to provide you a complete roofing, siding, gutter, and tuck pointing inspection. It's important to fix small issues now to avoid big issues later. Call us at 888-4-ROOFER. The freeze-thaw cycle of a Chicago winter is brutal on your roof. If you have noticed shingle damage, water stains on your ceiling, gutter rust, signs of a saggy roof, or simply many years have passed since your last roof inspection, call us now at 888-4-ROOFER. Following the inspection, you'll receive a free, honest estimate by email or phone. We're very proud of our A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. Call Lindholm Roofing today for all your essential roofing, siding, gutter, or tuck pointing needs. We service all residential and commercial property. 888-4-ROOFER. 888-4-ROOFER. Or visit LindholmRoofing.com. Ask about our no-interest financing. Lindholm Roofing. Our family has your family covered.
It's David Hartford, host of Home Sweet Home Chicago. I want to introduce you to an amazing realtor and new expert on our Saturday morning show, Kari Kohler with the Kohler. Kari has over a decade of experience leading one of the fastest growing teams in the real estate industry. She recently had the opportunity to work with the Kohler Group and was amazed at the dedication to their clients, attention to detail, ability to field multiple offers while keeping the clients informed of the progress of their transaction. Kari's team has extensive knowledge of the neighborhood
Naperville Market, all areas west of Route 59. So if you're considering purchasing or selling a home with the incredibly fast-moving real estate markets of Aurora, St. Charles, Geneva, and Batavia, just to name a few, call the Kari Kohler Group now. In this competitive real estate marketplace, listeners need a realtor who can guide them through everything from pre-qualification to cash offer. That's why I'm recommending the Kari Kohler Group. Go to thekohlergroup.co. That's KOHLER Group.co. Tell them I sent you.
Home Sweet Home Chicago.
Well, I don't know what you got going on there. Just the black and white.
Yeah, it's kind of dull. Your shirt looks like white noise on an analog television set.
Nugent called. He wants his shirt back.
Hey, Jordan Burfield, why don't you chime in here? He's trying to deflect his anger on my static analog TV. Does anybody know what all that?
I haven't seen your shirt, so I can't comment.
Hey, if I saw myself in clothes like those, I'd have to kick my own.
I think it looks fantastic.
It might be the camera.
It might be your eyes.
Now, here's David Hochberg in Home Sweet Home Chicago.
312-917-200. Make it funny.
You're funny all the time.
Yeah.
Well, I'm a clown. I make you laugh.
No, I didn't say you made me laugh.
Benny's calling up the Goodfellas or Casino soundtrack right now. That'll be a rejoin coming eventually. I don't even do that for a living. And it's what am I, clown? You know the scene in the Kiki bar, the Tiki bar. Oh, look at that. I was saying my best material to John Hanson show. What you're throwing out here sucks. 313-981-7200.
I'm more if anybody was going to listen to the show.
Hope, to John.
Even during. We might have shut down WGN right now.
WGN's executive that I'm on is Saturday all day. We want it to happen.
Yeah, they're not listening to this show. Don't worry. Hey, Dave, do me a favor. While we're on air,
Just shut off the radio.
don't tell Sean. I'm going to be on later. Why? You got a problem with Sean?
No, I just want to take it away from you.
Oh, there you go. Just in case. 312-981-7200. Just in case Sean's got a problem with you that you don't know about. 312-981-7200. Marina Mundline, how are you?
Hi, good morning, guys. I'm doing great. How are you?
Tremendous. It says here on the screen, the call screen, asbestos tile and spray foam, question mark, Corey.
Yep. So we're doing a major remodel, and the tiles are gone. But we have that black mastic on the floor. So do we need to encapsulate that? Or what do we do with that black mastic? We're not gonna scrape it or do anything, but is there something we can encapsulate that with? What do you suggest?
For our listeners that don't know what black mastic like me is, what is black mastic that you I'm sorry, Mr. Mega Pro Joe. Because I want Corey to explain to our other listeners what black mastic is.
Corey, do you know what it is?
I do, Joe.
But would you have done that without David?
Well, I would have. But David, thank you.
You're welcome.
It's David's show.
It is.
Stop reminding me.
It's hard.
Go ahead.
This time is about as bad as I don't want to talk about. Black mastic. Mastic is the adhesive that holds the tiles down. You remove tiles whether or not you believe them to be asbestos or not. And you see that black mastic is really concerning. There's a high probability of it being asbestos.
The mask?
Yes. Oh, you bet. We see this material in tons. Asbestos, but especially that older tile floor, probably not in my 9 removed, or maybe not, but there's a black substance adhesive below there. So not always the end of the world, but we need to have it. We need to have it.
I've got a question for Marine. How did they get who took the tile out without removing the mask?
I think it's common that people just take them up not even knowing the house is quite old. And, now we're doing a remodel and we see that. We're just assuming the house was built in 48, that it is. So now some people are saying you can just put some kind of sealer on it, don't touch it. So we're wondering what is the best sealer to use.
Good question. And I think really the most important thing here is for you to work with professionals. Dealing with asbestos is a serious matter. The way that it is removed is a serious matter. I don't know. I have any, just talking on the phone. I don't want to say anything negative about the contractor you worked with, but I do want to give you good advice moving forward. you need to have that tested. Call us at Blue Sky, and I will help you sort through this. Let's get it tested. Let's know. If it's tested and it doesn't have any percentage of asbestos content, move on. It's not a big deal. If it's tested and it contains 2% or 3% of asbestos in that mastic, well, then we need to go next level. And the encapsulation technique you're talking about is a fine technique. There are special paints, non-water permeable, that can encapsulate that. So you don't have to go through the trouble of containing, scraping, and cleaning all surfaces in the room. Encapsulation technique is an okay technique.
And here's the best part about it, Maureen and Mummerline. You're going to get an honest quote from honest people who will come out from Blue Sky Restoration, not some scumbag chuck in a truck who's going to tell you.
We do. Okay, how much we got?
Good question. I don't know off the top of my head, but call me off air and I will get this sorted out with you next week.
Are you okay, Maureen?
Yep, I have another question now.
All right, well, hang on. I got to hit a break because it's the bottom of the hour, and I've got Kevin in the newsroom saying, again, here we go. It's overtime. You're cutting into my news thing. So hang on, Maureen. I'm going to put you on the line. Yeah.
Okay, will do.
Yeah. Realtor out early. The small kitchen just disappeared. So hang on, Maureen. 312-981-7200. 312-981-7200. We got Kevin in the newsroom. Home Chicago, AM 720, WGN.
Oh, looks like someone got into the Oreos I just bought.
Huh? Wasn't me.
No, it's not you. It's the mice. Where are they getting in? This is so gross.
I wonder if the neighbors are having this mouse issue too.
They have rose pest. I see the truck every few months.
Rose Pest Solutions has been protecting health, homes, businesses, and the environment since 1860. Do what your neighbors are doing. Get Rose's family and pet-friendly healthy home maintenance program. You'll be safeguarded from dozens of pest threats all year long. Satisfaction guaranteed.
If you are renovating your kitchen or bathroom, call the refinishing experts at Miracle Method to learn about refinishing instead of replacing. Miracle Method will refinish your existing cabinets, countertops, bathtubs, showers, floors, and tile, making them look and feel brand new. Save 50 to 75% over the cost of replacement, and most projects are completed in less than 2 days. I've seen the finished product, and it's amazing. For more information about refinishing instead of replacing, call 630-832-2250 or visit miraclemethod.com/Chicago.
Hey, Steve, want to throw a log on that fire?
Yeah, sure.
Back in 1969, when Gary Lindeman was a firefighter on the North Shore, he started Lindeman Chimney Company out of concern for fireplace safety. Today, Lindeman Chimney and Fireplace is the leader in the chimney industry and remains a family business. They'll handle anything related to your fireplace or chimney, from annual maintenance and cleaning to chimney tuck pointing and masonry, gas logs and fireplace installation, and impressive fireplace remodels. Hire the pros at Lindeman Chimney and Fireplace. Did you know that spring is the best time to schedule that chimney and fireplace cleaning? Clean out that dirty, smelly fireplace now and enjoy a fresh fireplace all spring and summer. Book your chimney cleaning and inspection now, and you'll get the service at half off. Only $149 for a complete cleaning and inspection. Just mention WGN Radio when you schedule online at cleanfireplace.com. That's cleanfireplace.com. Lindeman Chimney and Fireplace. Safe and sound since 1969.
When I was diagnosed with cancer, every minute counted. But one call was all it took to get in right away and start treatment within a week.
One call is all it takes at Cancer Treatment Centers of America. Call now at 844-364-CTCA.
Having old drafty windows and doors at your home isn't any fun. Your home's too hot in the summer, it's too cold in the winter. I've been through that. This is John Williams. Do what we did. Call Next Door and Window. Right now, you will get buy one, get one 30% off windows and doors. Call 1-800-NEXT-DOOR. 1-800-NEXT-DOOR. Schedule a free estimate. Next Door and Windows, who we hired, they installed the Marvin window and sliding doors at our place. We're going to hire them again. We love how everything turned out. You're going to love the approach because they aren't pushy. Next Door and Window comes out. They listen to us, addressed our needs, tailored our window and door projects to match our style and budget. It was all completely pressure-free. And that's how they're going to treat you, too. And they've got it all. Fiberglass, wood-clad, vinyl options. So call Next Door and Windows. Buy one, get one 30% off windows and doors. 1-800-NEXT-DOOR. 1-800-NEXT-DOOR. Visit 1-800-NEXT-DOOR.com.
The voice of the great Midwest. Now in our 100th year. This is WGN Chicago, 720 AM, and on smart devices worldwide. A Nexstar Media Group station.
41 degrees at 12 noon. Good afternoon. I'm Kevin Wells. The news is sponsored by Blue Sky Restoration Contractors. The Chicago Marine veteran Sergeant Martinez laid to rest this morning. We'll have reactions from his family and friends coming up after WGN traffic. Right now, no delays on the Edens. 15 minutes out to Montrose and out to Lake Cook and into Montrose. The Kennedy looks clear as well. 35 minutes on the inbound side from O'Hare. Some brake lights between North and the Burn. The outbound side is clear at about 25 minutes. Eisenhower, no delays in and outbound clear. That's a 20-minute ride inbound on the Dan Ryan to the Burn. Brake lights between the Stevenson Expressway and the Burn interchange. No delays on the Bishop Ford. Stop and go traffic on DuSable Lakeshore Drive between Roosevelt and Monroe. American flags, servicemen and women, friends and families saying their final goodbyes to 23-year-old Sergeant Daniel Martinez this morning. The 23-year-old from Palos Hills was killed in Boston nearly 2 weeks ago. Family friend Dorothy Nicholas says the service was beautiful and breathtaking.
Well, it speaks for itself. All these people are here because Daniel lived. You know, they're not here because he passed away. They're here because he lived. If you see inside, it's breathtaking. Standing room only, moving around, but very family-like.
He is being laid to rest in Oak Lawn. Martinez served 4 years in the Marine Corps and completed his service in September. He was visiting a friend he served with for St. Patrick's Day when he was killed. At least 6 people were shot, one fatally going back to Friday night here in Chicago. Police say the latest was a drive-by shooting on the west side that left a 26-year-old woman in critical condition. A 22-year-old man was killed on the northwest side in Palmer Square following an argument. His name has not yet been released. No one is in custody in that incident. 2 people have been killed in the Logan Square community area, which includes Palmer Square, so far this year, that according to the Sun-Times. Even with the very violent start to the weekend, police say violent crime as a whole is down here in Chicago.
Chicago police report 593 people were shot during the first 3 months of this year. That's down 15% from the same time in 2021. 128 people were killed, a 7% drop from the same period last year, but the number of shooting victims is up 20% from 2 years ago. Murders are up 31% compared to 2020. Dave Schwann, WGN News.
And the alleged shooter at the fashion outlets of Chicago last Friday night has been charged with first-degree murder. 18-year-old Jose Matias was taken into custody Wednesday. Following a nationwide arrest warrant, he's accused of fatally shooting 20-year-old Joel Valdez and 15-year-old girl Friday night in the Rosemont Mall's food court. Rosemont police announcing yesterday afternoon that Matias has been charged with first-degree murder, attempted first-degree murder, aggravated discharge of a firearm, and aggravated unlawful use of a weapon. A judge denied him bail at his court hearing. Ukraine's president is warning residents of northern Ukraine to be careful of shelling and landmines as Russian troops retreat from the area. AP correspondent Karen Chamis reports.
In his late-night video address to the nation, he said the Russians were mining the whole territory. The president urged residents to hold on before getting back to normal, allowing time for mines to be cleared and for the danger of shelling to pass. Zelensky warned of difficult battles ahead as the Russians redeploy troops in eastern Ukraine. After speaking to French President Emmanuel Macron, he mentioned Europe's responsibility to do something about Mariupol. The whole world should respond to this humanitarian catastrophe. I'm Karen Chamas.
And staying overseas, the prevalence of COVID-19 in the UK has reached record levels with about 5 million infected at this time, or 1 in 13 people over the last week. That according to the latest figures from Britain's official statistics agency. The latest surge is driven by more than the transmissible Omicron BA2 variant. That is the dominant strain variant across the country right now. Hospitalizations and death rates are again rising, although the number of people dying with COVID is still relatively low compared to earlier this year. And now WGN Sports, Andy Mazer.
The national semifinals get underway today at the Superdome in New Orleans. 2 games to figure out which teams will play for the national championship on Monday night. Game 1 has Kansas taking on Villanova, and Game 2, it's Duke and North Carolina, the 2 rivals meeting for the first time ever in the NCAA tournament. These Final Four teams have combined to win 17 national championships, and each of the schools has won at least 3 titles. Our live coverage starts at 3:30 here on 720 WGN and WGNradio.com. In the women's bracket, UConn will face South Carolina for the title tomorrow night in Minneapolis. The Bulls back in action tonight. They'll host Miami at the United Center. Hawks are off tonight. They'll host Arizona tomorrow night with our pregame starting at 5:30 with Joe Brandt right here on WGN and WGNradio.com. Exhibition baseball today has the Cubs taking on the Angels, and tonight's the White Sox and Arizona Diamondbacks. Sox making a trade with the Dodgers yesterday, sending Craig Kimbrell to L.A. in exchange for veteran outfielder A.J. Pollock. I'm Andy Mazer, WGN Sports.
And just into our newsroom, the Cubs have named Kyle Hendricks as their opening day starter, marking the professor's third straight opening day nod. Let's take a look at the WGN forecast.
Cloudy skies around Chicagoland for today, and we do have a quick-moving system that'll deliver a little bit of rain with some snow mixed in. Some slushy accumulations are possible, mostly in the north and western suburbs. The snowiest places overall will be in far northwestern and northern Illinois around the Rockford area and places to the west where they could see 1 to 3 inches. South winds 5 to 15 miles an hour for today, but a little bit breezier if you're south of Interstate 80. High temperatures will struggle to get into the low end of the 40s. Tonight, decreasing clouds and a bit colder. Overnight lows dropping close to freezing. Getting into Sunday, partly cloudy start and warmer with high temperatures in the low end of the 50s, but increasing clouds and wind and rain returning by the late afternoon. From the WGN Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Tim Joyce.
Snow and rain just about an hour away from our area, in some cases a little bit closer. It's going to be an ugly afternoon here in Chicago and the Chicagoland area. Right now, 41 at O'Hare, 42 at Midway, and 39 along Chicago's lakefront. I'm Kevin Wells on Chicago's very own 720 WGN.
Barometer reading, 3, 2, 1.
And we are looking at barometric pressures. Only have a reading for O'Hare right now. It's at 30, so normal range. Nothing on Midway. I'm not sure why it's not popping up. But
We'll hold. We'll wait. We've got nothing to do.
All right, let me refresh the page.
I'm kidding. Thanks, buddy. Coming up next in Home Sweet Home Chicago, we got Maureen in Mundelein finishing up her follow-up question to our experts. Home Sweet Home Chicago coming up next, AM 720 WGN.
Here's a shocking statistic. Over 1 million people have more than $200,000 in student loans. So whatever you're going through, you're not alone. Let Ray Kaplan and the Kaplan Law Firm help. They just saved one WGN radio listener $125,000 in student debt. Before you borrow for college, or if you already have, call Ray Kaplan. The savings potential is life-changing. Call Kaplan Law, 312-294-8989, or visit financialrelief.com. Kaplan Law Firm is located at 25 East Washington in Chicago.
If you're purchasing a new home, refinancing your existing home, securing a VA loan, or reverse mortgage, then you need to call Team Hochberg, your trusted local lender. I would like to personally thank the more than 660 listeners who donated as little as $5 up to the $64,000 donation we received from Walsh Construction and the International Union of Operating Engineers Local 150. Your support and generosity helped us exceed our $200,000 goal and raise over $220,000, which enabled the Chicago Police Memorial Foundation to purchase 440 replacement bulletproof vests. Please visit cpdvest.com to donate. Team Hochberg was proud to team with Alderman Matt O'Shea and the Chicago Police Memorial Foundation to bring awareness and raise funds so the Chicago Police Memorial Foundation can purchase bulletproof vests. Thank you again for everybody that donated to the Chicago Police Memorial Foundation. Please visit cpdvest.com to donate. Homeside Financial, Equal Housing Lender, MLS 112-4061.
Hey, it's John Williams. I see David Hochberg around the radio station, and I got to tell you, he looks fantastic. He's a whole new guy, thanks to SodaWeightLoss.com. Since David began his short weight loss journey, he's knocked off 57 pounds of unwanted fat weight. Soda's number one priority is for their clients to keep the weight off. In fact, maintenance is free for Soda clients who hit their healthy target goal weight. Visit SOTAweightloss.com. Soda is, say it with me, state of the art.
Structural foundation problems? Permaseal can help. Hi, I'm Roy Spencer, president of Permaseal. Last year's severe drought has homeowners across Chicagoland and northwest Indiana experiencing symptoms of structural foundation issues. Cracked brickwork or caulking, uneven floors, new cracks in the drywall or ceiling, doors or windows that no longer open or shut properly, or basement walls that are leaning or bowing. All of these can be signs of a structural foundation issue. Too often we hear of homeowners paying for an expensive consultation just to determine the problem. Don't be one of them. Call Permaseal today at 800-421-SEAL. Our certified structural consultants will thoroughly evaluate your foundation and offer you a permanent solution at absolutely no charge. Life's frustrating enough. Let's fix what we can and avoid even bigger problems. Call Permaseal today, 800-421-7325, or visit permaseal.net.
Don't best for be and better Permaseal.
This episode of Home Sweet Home Chicago is sponsored by David Hochberg and Mega Pros Home Improvement and Restoration, Ray Kaplan, Blue Sky Restoration, formerly JC Restoration, and attorney Stephen A. Leahy from OPEM Tax Resolution. For additional sponsors of the Home Sweet Home program, please visit WGNradio.com/Home Sweet Home Chicago. Now, here's David Hochberg and Home Sweet Home Chicago.
312-981-7200 is a Mega Pros call, text, and photo line. We got a bunch of text messages that we will get to, so thank you and keep them coming. Maureen and Mundelein, you have a follow-up question to your asbestos question earlier in the show. So you wanna fire that off?
So the next question is regarding spray foam insulation in the different types and uses. We plan on using that in our attic on the underneath part of the roof to encapsulate the whole roof. And we're just wondering what is the best type to not, cause moisture buildup and mold and all those great issues. And do you suggest some type of baffling or air circulation up there?
Good, very good question. And I work closely with some spray foam insulation vendors. What I'm going to advise you do is I want you to, again, I want to talk to you next week about both these issues, and I've got some solutions for you. Spray foam insulation is a wonderful product. It really changes the dynamic of an attic. An attic is designed to be a ventilated, non-living space. But I have seen when you do the spray foam technique, you can actually kind of change the dynamic of the attic and turn it into more of a finished space or good storage space. Now, some of the ventilation techniques of those attics will change. A typical ventilation roof system is going to be ventilated through soffit vents and gable vents and a peak vent. But that is a great question. It needs to be asked to the professional. And I want to also note some pitfalls that I have seen professionally with spray foam insulation. And again, the importance of using a very good qualified contractor that you can trust. Because with spray foam and these close-load installations, if you do not apply them properly, and if you do not let them cure properly, they can actually break down and not cure, and you will see a liquid oozing from them. And that liquid is poisonous. I rely on my scientists and hygienists to kind of describe the technicalities of that, but that is a job that I've had to do multiple times, from improper spray foam insulation that has not cured, decomposed, and leaked out a poison that then we have to come in and remove it, and it's very, it can be dangerous. All that being said, I'm a fan of the product. The product works if you're working with the right people.
I have it in my house, Maureen, and I'll tell you what. We had a air blower test to do the what's it called, Joe? The integrity,
the vacuum door.
Yeah, the vacuum door. Right. To find out if how much
for air leaks.
Yeah, for air leaks. And the guy said when he was leaving that our house is one of the tightest houses he's ever seen.
Meaning because you wouldn't pay him.
That was good. Benny marked that down 4-2 at 12-12. I'm sure that'll be part of a rejoin. I'm sure Maureen's like, these jokes suck. Would you get to my answer? No,
I called in for this.
Yeah, Maureen's like, come on, man, enough. I've been on hold forever. No, I will tell you that, and I will back it up. When installed properly by trained foam installers, it is an amazing product. Mm-hmm. My electric bills are lower. The sound in my house, you can't hear somebody talking from the kitchen in the living room. We have to call.
You did your partition wells as well.
I did everything.
That was incredible.
Yeah.
I never, ever even thought of that.
Yeah, as we built the house, I mean, the guys went crazy. In their moon suits, they had their hazmat suits on and the respirators. And it's an amazing product. And we talked to the guy who did my house about coming on the show. It's just he's having trouble getting product to put into people's homes due to supply chain issues. So I back
still
up.
Still a good guy.
Still a great guy. But hang tight, Maureen. Thank you for calling. Thank you for sharing your challenges with our listeners and your questions with our listeners.
And Corey's going to come out.
And Corey will give you a call after the show, follow up, and set up a time for him to come to your house in Mundelein, okay?
Oh, great. Thanks, guys.
You bet.
He prefers chocolate chip cookies, the chunky ones.
Peanut butter.
With peanut butter. Or maybe with Reese's peanut butter cups in it.
Dave, she wants to be done with it.
Okay, we got it. Hang out for your Mr. Floyd Cleaning Product, Maureen. 312-981-7200. 7200. We're going to take a quick break. Stephen A. Leahy has more exciting IRS data to share with us that I asked him to share with us, so he has absolutely nothing to talk about with John Hanson on Let's Get Legal in 45 minutes.
We could tap him
We're going to tap his information out. We're going to roll him into the other room.
Show up.
Good luck with that.
We have to put him on oxygen. Yeah, we have to put him on oxygen.
Did you just call John Hanson?
I called John. I said, I'm sorry. I'm
keeping the good stuff for his show.
I'm trying to wear him out. I'm like, did you realize Stephen A. Leahy's on with you? He's like, unfortunately, yes. 312-981-7200, 312-981-7200. Let's Get Legal coming up after this show with John Hanson, the host, and a guy named Stephen A. Leahy will be joining him. 312-981-7200 is a MegaPros call, text, and photo line. More IRS tax stats coming up after these messages.
WGN. I'm attorney Stephen Leahy. I help business professionals solve IRS problems forever. One of my clients, let's call him Mike, runs his own business and hadn't filed his tax returns in years. He didn't know what to do, so he did nothing. Not a good choice. Mike knows the IRS can take his bank account, his passport, and his house. What he didn't know is the IRS could contact his customers and collect the money he owes from them. We've prepared all Mike's returns, filed an appeal to slow the IRS down, and worked out a plan to pay the IRS based on his budget, not on how much he owed. We helped him with tax planning and his business structure to reduce future tax bills, and we keep him in compliance to keep the IRS away while he focuses on rebuilding his life. What's the first thing you should do if you have unfiled returns or if you owe the IRS money? Get a copy of my book. Deal with your IRS problems today. Go to freeirsbook.com. That's freeirsbook.com to get your copy, or call us at 312-664-6649. There's no time to waste. Fight back now.
If you're looking for the best possible Ford buying experience in Chicagoland, trust Joe Cotton Ford on North Avenue and Carroll Stream. At Joe Cotton Ford, we treat every customer like family. We currently have a great selection of new and used cars and trucks available in the showroom and on the lot. But please call ahead or stop by for the latest inventory. And you can always stop in and order a new car or truck with our expert guidance. Mustangs, F-150s, transit vans, and more in the color, style, and with all the bells and whistles you want. And Joe Cotton Ford's service and parts department is second to none. We can service all Ford cars and SUVs, F-150 trucks, Super Duty trucks to 550s, and medium-duty commercial trucks up to F-750. Transit connects up to 350 as well. So for your next Ford car, SUV, truck, or commercial vehicle, see Joe Cotton Ford on North Avenue at Gary in Carroll Stream, or visit joecottonford.com.
There are two things to do when selling your home. Job one, get the best deal you can. Other job one, find another great place to live. And that second part can be just as challenging as the first, right? That's why Amy Kite at Keller Williams Realty Infinity is the agent to call. With Amy Kite, you get a team that lists a lot of homes. They get info about new homes before they hit the public. You wonder where your next home's going to be? Let Amy Kite show you. And let's get cracking on that too. Rising interest rates can pinch the market. They can push prices down. And overpriced homes sit on the market and lose value. Amy Kite knows the Chicagoland market and will price your home to sell right now. And don't forget, inventory dropped to a new low, 1.1 months. This is a good time to sell, and Amy has the team, the market knowledge, and multiple platforms to get your home noticed. And once you're ready to move, she's got a great place to show you too. AmyWillSellYourHome.com. Amy's got real estate scholarship programs too for people who are looking to get into real estate. Visit AmyWillSellYourHome.com.
Stream WGN TV News Live. Get today's top stories and breaking news. Skilling's weather. Download the WGN TV Plus app free on your smart TV.
Home Sweet Home Chicago.
Text us what the craziest thing you found in your sump pimp. A pump pimp? What's up? Some pimp.
Whoever looks in there.
Some pimp. What is it? Sump pit. Sump pit. Say that 10 times quick.
Now, here's David Hochberg and Home Sweet Home Chicago.
312-981-7200. Thank you to Donald Callahan, Richard Rorchick Jr., David Bessert, Donna Artez, Rosa Garcia, Francis Fleming, and Peg Peterson. Or Pedersen. I don't know. How do we know? How do we know if it's Pedersen or Peterson? I guess we'll never know. Unless Peg wants to call in and correct me. But thank you to all of those listeners who donated to the Behind the Vest. Fund the Vestathon, we raised $225,000. They raised another $25,000 at the Pancake Breakfast, and next year we're going for $500,000. 312-981-7200, 312-981-7200. You want to tell that quick story about Jeremy, your
So
son?
it wasn't Jeremy. It was a group of guys. They went to inspect a job for a customer, and the customer sitting there, and he's like, "Hey, I got a question." He goes, "You know Joe, right?" They're like, "Yeah, we do."
He's
You
my
know
boss.
You know the Hochberg guy, right? And they're like, "Yeah, we know the Hochberg guy." So, are they just professional smartasses? Like, is that what they do for a living?
Pretty much.
They did like the show.
All right, good. That's good. 312-981-7200. 312-981-7200. Average refund, Mr. Leahy, of our listeners, of the 115 million taxes filed last year, what was the average refund that
Okay, so
was
the
kicked back?
number I'm going to give you is for this year, not for last year.
Okay.
There's 58 million refunds have already been given out this year as of March 25th, totaling $189 billion, and the average refund was $3,263.
Wow.
More than $448 more than last year. So
that's $271.50 that our listeners could be getting back every single month, and they're giving the government a tax-free loan by not having that money taken from their W10. It's not
W2.
No, when you go to your HR department and fill
W4.
out, W4. You go to your HR department, ask your tax preparer if you have one, what you have to do in your HR department to increase your withholding so you get less money back when you file taxes, and you get more money back every single month. Am I correct?
A W-4, you can even tell them percentage-wise. So if you go back and you look the last 3 or 4 years, if you're in the same job, and you look,
And you're getting $3,600 back a month every year.
Calculate what your tax is and what your income is. Let's say it's 20%. I could tell my HR, take 20% of my money.
Sure.
And that way you're not overpaying. They're just going to pay what you always pay. And then even if you owe a couple of dollars, at least you could pay that. You could pay that at the end of the year. But you are giving them a tax-free. And I know a lot of people count on that. That's like a forced savings plan.
Okay. Exactly. And that's why I think you got to be careful with that, because I did the first 20 years of my business, or 10 years of my business at least, right?
Well, I would tell
you did the right thing, though, Joe, in that you paid yourself as an employee.
I did. So in other words, that's why I
don't
think
do
it's
that.
important that, like you talk about structure, I had a paycheck, right? And consequently, I had taxes taken out of that paycheck. As a young person, brand new house, brand new family, I lived for that.
Okay.
$6,000 or $5,000, whatever it was.
Congratulations. I would tell you to go back to the
I know, and that's why I'm saying
I'm just making
you're
a statement.
so much smarter than everybody else.
I would not say that.
You were a
at
better
all.
money handler.
Okay, I will say that.
Right.
I will agree with that. I am not smarter than everybody else.
I made a big mistake when
I
I
know.
said that. So
Thanks for correcting
you were
yourself.
a better money handler.
Walk that back quick. I'd much rather have. It's costing the average family right now.
I understand.
I know you are. I'm just blasting on this point here. More than $271.50 to fill up their cars with gas if you have 2 cars in a family right now. It's costing you $350 more a month than it did a year ago to put gas in your tank. I would much rather our listeners have that $271 to help offset that $350 a month extra fuel bill. Forget about the food. Forget about your heating. Forget about your electric. Forget about all that. I'd much rather you have that money in your pocket, because what are you going to do with it? You're going to put it on the credit card at 18 to 20%. You're going to pay juice on that. Go ahead, Steve.
I just want to mention also that, obviously the IRS had this problem, and a lot of people weren't getting their refunds. So if you're counting on that refund,
and
then you don't get it.
You're exactly right.
Wham!
Right.
There you go.
What are you talking about?
That's kind of like a Batman.
Oh my gosh, that's actually opposite. Not true.
But that just solidified my point.
No, it didn't.
Bing, bang, boom.
Damn nothing. No, Steve. You're
it's
exactly
like a Batman cartoon where you go pow, pow, pow. There,
but
that's
if you needed the money and you didn't have it, do you know what I'm saying?
But if the IRS isn't going to give the money,
you don't believe that people need the money.
I trust me, people need the money. I totally believe
you're
people.
saying they don't need it at tax time?
They need it during the year.
Okay, whatever.
Pam, boom, bum. Now,
Fight back now. Fight back now.
For all your kids.
I can say that live, Fight back now.
I'd rather hear it on tape. All right, here, I got one for you. 847 during the first hour of the show. For Stephen A. Leahy, we owe the IRS over $100,000. I had a few challenges with CPAs giving us bad advice and filings. The IRS takes our current paid estimate tax to apply to the past. During the last audit, the IRS examiner, who was called a Mr. or Mrs. IRS examiner, or Dr. examiner, entered that we did not file our taxes in 2014, which was part of the audit. Our CPA didn't catch the mistake, which closed our offer and compromised. Any recommendations on what we could do? Thanks, G.
I don't follow that story so I'm a little confused in that the 2014 they can't be auditing that now because they usually go back only 3 years to audit. So I don't know where that would come in. But let me tell you, let's talk about the offer and compromise because that's what that they're talking about. The offer and compromise is what everybody wants. And if you ask 500 people of my clients who wants an offer and compromise, 500 hands go up. Everybody wants that. And here's the stats.
What is it?
The offer and compromise is when the IRS agrees to take less than you owe them and settle the matter in a lump sum, or actually it's a payment, but only 12 months or things like that.
For less than what they owe.
For much less, right?
Okay.
It's based on what you can pay. But here's the thing. In 2020, the last time we have statistics from the IRS, 7.4 million people settled what they call a collection case, and that's when you owe the IRS money. So sometimes it's an offer of compromise, sometimes it's an installment agreement, sometimes you get currently not collectible, and sometimes you just pay, right? So of those 7.4 million cases,
is that a lot? Is that considered a lot?
That actually it was down in 2020
okay.
because of COVID.
Okay.
So it was down. But of those 7.4 million cases, 14,500 about were offers and compromise.
Whoa.
So that's like none, like almost zero.
Small percent?
Yes, very small. Less than 0.25% of people settle their bill that way. And what happens is you add time to the statute of limitations. So oftentimes what people are doing is just giving the IRS more time to come after you and adding interest to something that you're never going to get. But why do people do it then? Because that's easy to sell.
Right.
If you come to some guy tells you, "Hey, would you like to pay pennies on a dollar?" You say, "Yeah, I want that." Let me sign here, right?
Most of your competitors that advertise lead with that.
Exactly.
Because that's the sexy thing to lead with, right?
Exactly. And everybody wants, and then I can't tell you how many people that hire me, and then they get some advertising. Why can't you do this for me?
Right.
It's like, because you're not going to get that.
Right. Yeah. Or somebody.
But here, though, talk about what you do. You structure the agreement, correct?
Yeah. Well, it's really about trying to get the IRS to leave you alone and give you an opportunity to pay it in a structured manner, rather than letting them just come and take everything from you, because that's what they do. Right? Yep. They can come take everything away from you.
312-981-7200, 312-981-7200. Here, we'll get this one out real quick. I recently received a refund for overpayment of student loans. Will this texter need to claim this overpayment on their 2022 taxes?
The answer is no, because you already paid tax on that money when you paid that loan, right? You used after-tax money, and you overpaid it. They give it back to you. That's just my money, so no, that's not income.
And the PPP money and all the extra money that some of our listeners got dumped into their checking account, are there taxes on that?
There was not any tax on the PPP money.
Okay, and what about the incentives?
Stimulus, the same thing. They now historically when you got one, you had to pay taxes on it, but they did back it out of taxes.
Okay, our listeners want to reach you to get amazing information. What's the best number to reach you?
Call me at 312-664-6649. And my ad, I talk about my book, Deal with Your IRS Problem Today. Go to freeirsbook.com. I'll give you a copy of my book.
All right. This is Home Sweet Home Chicago on AM 7.
It's a good book. Like, if you have nothing to do to read that book.
Well, I'm going to tell you something. If you owe the IRS money,
I didn't
looking
say
for
that,
some
Steve.
information.
I'm just saying
This is Home Sweet Home Chicago on AM.
Read a book.
Okay. This is Home. I'm going to turn your mics off. This is Home Sweet Home Chicago on AM 720. WGN, 312-981-7200, Megaphone call, text, and photo line. Over to Kevin in the newsroom.
When news breaks in Chicago or the world, you'll hear it here, and we'll talk about it here. This is Chicago's very own 720 WGN, or download the WGN radio app and stream us live.
42 degrees and continuing to snow out in the west and northwest suburbs at 12:30. Good afternoon, I'm Kevin Wells. If you're flying Southwest Airlines today, be prepared for some delays at O'Hare and Midway. Those details coming up. First, WGN Sports. It's a big day across all sports, starting with the Final Four. That's in New Orleans, Villanova and Kansas around 5 o'clock. Duke faces North Carolina. Live coverage starts at 3:30 right here on 720 WGN and WGNradio.com. Blackhawks host Arizona tomorrow. Pregame with Joe Brand gets things going at 5:30. Face-off at 6 with John Weideman right here on 720 WGN and WGNradio.com. Could be a big night for the Bulls. They're hosting the Miami Heat at 7 o'clock. They can clinch a playoff spot with a win and a Cleveland loss. It would be their first playoff berth since 2017. Major League Soccer, Dallas at the Chicago Fire at 2:30. And a few more spring training games until the real thing. Cubs and Angels at 2, Sox in Arizona at 8 tonight. Kyle Hendricks has been named the Cubs opening day starter. WGN traffic now, no delays on the Edens. 30 minutes inbound on the Kennedy, 25 on the outbound side, 25 minutes inbound on the Eisenhower with no delays. Things looking a little bit slower on the Dan Ryan inbound. There's an accident on the right shoulder inbound at the Burn. It's going to be about a 25-minute ride. I-57 in Cook County, there stop and go traffic at 119th and in between 127th due to an accident that is being cleared up at this time. Slow delays right now, too, on DuSable Lakeshore Drive, Hollywood to Monroe, over 20 minutes. Lots of brake lights between Michigan and Chicago. We are getting reports of significant delays on those traveling Southwest Airlines this morning. The airline says these issues are now resolved, but acknowledge that passengers may continue facing heavy delays throughout the day. These delays are more likely to affect customers in the Eastern and Central time zones, but secondary delays are possible for flights leaving further west as well. So far, O'Hare, nearly 70 flights canceled today and about 30 at Midway. Despite a strike vote from teachers, Palatine-Schaumburg High School District 211 school board members are working in good faith towards a labor agreement. The Daily Herald reports that the teachers voted to strike on Thursday night, pledging to walk out if a new contract is not in place when the current one expires June 30th. More than 12,000 students are enrolled in the district. It's the largest high school district in the state. A congressional panel is investigating the deadly collapse at an Amazon warehouse in southern Illinois. 6 people died when a tornado struck the Edwardsville facility in December. The House Oversight Committee sent a letter to Amazon requesting information about its labor practices during extreme weather events. They want to know about emergency preparedness drills and communication on that day. Some survivors says it was chaotic and that Amazon would not let them leave. The forecast from the WGN Chicago Weather Center, a pretty crappy day overall weather-wise. Snowing out west right now in the Rockford area. It's raining, too, in DeKalb. Some heavy storms making their way through Aurora at this time. All of that heading towards Lake Michigan and out east. We could see 1 to 3 inches in the northwest suburbs when all is said and done. A high of 41 degrees. Tonight, decreasing clouds. It's going to be a little bit colder, a low of 34. Sunday, partly cloudy, and it'll be a little bit warmer, a high of 51, but still windy and rainy in the afternoon. Could see some wind gusts topping around 30 miles per hour. Right now across Chicagoland, 42 at O'Hare, 44 at Midway, 39 along Chicago's lakefront. I'm Kevin Wells on Chicago's very own 720 WGN.
JC Restoration, your trusted property damage expert, has merged with Colorado-based national firm Blue Sky Restoration Contractors. As part of the Blue Sky family, they will continue to offer the best around-the-clock restoration and emergency mitigation services for properties affected by water, fire, smoke, mold, or storms in the greater Chicagoland area. Plus, they're now able to provide commercial roofing and healthcare restoration services. Blue Sky provides commercial, industrial, governmental, residential, and multifamily restoration, renovation, environmental, and roofing services across the nation. Your familiar Chicago area crew is operating business as usual with a larger team and more resources, responding to any property damage needs. Blue Sky's engaged employees bring experience and teamwork to anyone who owns or manages property, provides property insurance, or manages property insurance claims. For more information on Blue Sky Restoration Contractors, formerly JC Restoration, visit gobluesky.com. That's GoBlusky.com. Or call 800-266-5677. JC Restoration is now Blue Sky Restoration Contractors and here to serve you.
You may already know Mr. Floor for the beautiful wood floors that we install, sand, and refinish. Mr. Floor is a full-service local Chicagoland company who has provided homeowners and businesses with complete flooring solutions for over 30 years. Hi, I'm Igor Marak of Mr. Floor, and born out of our extensive experience and knowledge with hardwood floors comes the best hardwood floor cleaner on the market. As we visit Chicagoland homes and businesses every day, we see the damage that incorrect floor maintenance can cause. Most people are not cleaning their hardwood floors properly, and as we all know, a bucket of water and a mop is the surest way to ruin a wood floor. Forget about those harsh chemicals and cleaning products that leave your floors hazy and lifeless. We've researched, developed, and now produce the best hardwood floor cleaner ever. Our cleaner breaks the bonds of dirt and grease from your floor's coating without harming it. It's also eco and pet friendly too. Thousands of Mr. Floor clients have been using our cleaners for years, and now you can too. Visit us online at MrFloor.com to learn more and place your order. Use promo code WGN at checkout for a special offer. Mr. Floor, the first and last name in floors.
Hi, this is David Hochberg, and I am here with my really good friend, a real estate attorney and trust planning expert, David Schluter. David, I got a quick question for you. How do our listeners who are buying and moving into condos avoid running into unforeseen expenses that could exceed their personal budget?
Your attorney has a crack during the attorney review period to go ahead and ask any informational questions about recent increases that are contemplated in the future, and any special assessments that might come up. If they are too high, we can get you out of the deal within that period. Just use a qualified real estate attorney like me.
I'm telling you, David's done all of my real estate transactions. I refer him to all of our listeners. He's the best in the business. If you have any real estate law questions or buying or selling a home, call David Schluter, 630-285-5300. That's 630-285-5300. Give him a call today.
Pete is happily scratching an instant ticket from the Illinois Lottery. So even though the leak in his canoe turned his fishing trip into a fishing dip, Pete's walking on air because he knows anyone could win in an instant. Play today. Be smart, play smart. Must be 18 years or older to play. Game odds available at IllinoisLottery.com.
Let's Get Legal, where we take a look at local and national news stories through a legal lens, with prominent Illinois attorneys and experts here to break it all down. Let's Get Legal, powered by the Illinois State Bar Association. Up next at 1 on WGN. Now back to David Hochberg and Home Sweet Home Chicago.
312-981-7200, 312-981, we're on the air. 312-981.
Oh, is today?
Yeah, it's right now. Right now we're on there. This is pregame for John Hanson show. I know Steve's warming up in the bullpen.
I wonder what John Hanson.
If anybody has a question, don't text here. Wait till John Hanson show.
Yeah.
Give me a call.
Oh, no, text now. Text right now. Text right now.
Yeah, because Steve's saving all of his good stuff for
text right now.
I'm not going to answer your question. He puts me on the phone.
That's good. Okay. Yeah. 312-981-7200. Joe, good morning. I'm wanting to replace the current tub wall with as deep tub walls as I can. Scott from Woodstock. He sent in a picture of his bathtub that is butted up against a wall with a shower curtain. You've seen thousands, if not tens of thousands of these.
I see no reason not to do that. I don't know if that's one of those tub liners that, where they just go right over it. Stuff. I don't know that from this picture. And if you wanted to replace the same size, that's standard. So it's all good.
Okay, 312.
I mean, if we can help in any way, you can call it.
It's not that big of a deal. 312-981-7200, 312-981-7200. Go to WGNDavid.com for all of our contact information. Corey, I live in Northwest Indiana. Does Blue Sky handle Northwest Indiana?
Absolutely.
40 states, you said.
40 states at any given time we are working, but we have coverage coast to coast.
Which two don't you do? Hawaii?
Well, as a matter of fact, we are in the continental U.S. as of now.
You said 40.
Which two?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, what are you looking at? A map from 1857?
48.
Oh, God.
If that was right in 1857, I think that would be funny, but it's probably not accurate. Okay.
It's still funny.
It's still very fun.
I know. I forgot where you're on the radio. But which... I forgot anybody who was
I like
listening.
this question.
Which 10 don't you do, and why not?
Great question.
Hold on, Benny. Did you mark that 4-2 at 12:38? Get that ready for a rejoin. Go ahead there, Corey. Sorry.
Good question. So, Joe, you asked, which 10 states do we not service?
That's what I meant to ask.
We service every state, coast to coast. We've worked in every single state in the continental U.S. We are always working in multiple states at a time. We have offices in 18 states and 41 locations, but we have active work going on in 40 states at a time. But we work in every single state.
Okay.
There isn't an area on the map that we cannot cover.
312-981-7200. 312.
I know. I got you.
God, that was way too easy. That was a great question.
Which two don't you do?
You're the better. Which two out of the 40
I had
don't
48 like pictured in my head.
You know what I mailed?
Continental United States.
I mailed you something in on February 5th, and the horse should be there on the Pony Express. Don't worry about it. It should be rolling up.
I had 48 pictured in my head.
Keep talking. Yeah, I voted for Lincoln. Shame what happened at the theater. 847 Joe, I want to replace my front door and 2 side lights. How do I determine what material
Fiberglass
is the best replacement? Wood, steel, fiberglass.
Fiberglass is really, it's permanent, and you can finish it.
That's what
Janky.
No, Justin was talking about with the windows.
Sure. Meaning
weekend.
fiberglass is really, really a nice option now, and it's really going to hold up nice. The Builder Supply Hardware has a great line of fiberglass.
Okay, 847. I have vinyl windows that a squirrel chewed on the outside, like eating an ear of corn.
Yeah, this person is either just goofing around with us, but
Okay.
he's asking how to fix it. He rents, so he doesn't want to replace it. He wants to fix it with Bondo. Meaning, if you're trying to plug a hole, you could use caulk or something to seal that.
Silicone?
What did you say?
Silicone.
Silicone. Yeah, sure, you can use silicone, but here. But I think the question is, he's trying to repair this chewed up vinyl window, and he doesn't want to pay for a new window because he rents. Caulk it.
Caulk it. Okay, caulk gun. Any special type of caulk? An outdoor caulk?
Silicone is fine.
Silicone is fine. I deserved that. That was good. 312-981-7200. 312-981-7200. 773. I got my tax refund in 2 weeks electronically, but Dave, what do you think is better, putting down dependents and getting money on your paycheck, or no dependents and getting a refund? I'll leave that to Stephen A. Lake.
We just talked about that, right?
That's why I'm bringing it up. It just came in.
Because refunds, again, some people want more money at the end because it's forced savings. And if that's you, then take more money out. But you don't have to falsify your dependents or anything. You just have to tell your HR or the W-4
percentage.
Yeah, tell them what you
But
want
you
to
can go negative dependence also, but you would need to be an accountant to figure that out.
Well, that might be.
Right.
And I'm not an accountant.
I understand.
312-981-7200. 312-981-7200. Go to WGNDavid.com. Tax question. I'm preparing the tax refund for my in-laws, and this is the first year with a 99 LTC. You know what that is? I must have forgot the one. 1099 LTC. What is limited tax corporation? I don't know. No documentation indicates if it's a qualified plan. However, most sites I've been to in the past few days state most plans and funds are not taxable to the insured. The IRS site does not help, nor does the TurboTax program. Is there a definite website that has the best explanation for completing IRS Form 8853 for tax filings? It seems that definitions for specific matter, but insurance companies, are not clear. Please help. 8853.
Go, Steve.
Well, I'd like to help, but I can't help right here because it's kind of confusing. And one thing about the IRS, well, 2 things. They use acronyms and forms. They have a form for everything. Mm-hmm. And so I'd have to really reacquaint myself with that form that you talk about. But in a nutshell, generally insurance is not taxable because it's a payment. It's not income.
Maybe
so
you want to
taxable.
answer that on John Hansen.
Maybe I will.
Yeah. Yeah, he's saving all the good stuff.
Yeah, I'm really smart on his
So
show.
I'd have to look at that specifically. And when we get off the show, we always get the copy. So I'll be happy to talk to you about it.
John, I've done a lot of research on Form 8853 in the past 17 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
I want to review with you and your listeners.
John, I feel a lot smarter after I got out of the Hochberg show.
Yeah,
I don't know. I feel pretty smart when I'm in the show.
You know, John?
That's a good point.
See what he did there? 312-981-7200. That was well played. 312-981-7200. Go to WGNDavid.com. Someone filed a 2021 tax return using my wife's ID. We received notice the IRS wants $7,000 due to calculations error and overpayment. What do we do now?
Well, they have a lot of identity theft. This is very common with the IRS.
So is somebody ripping a W-2 off of this guy's wife and filing a tax return?
Yeah, a lot of people they're false, right?
They just make it up.
Yeah, they make it up and then they put it in. So there's a lot of that going on. It really I don't have to tell you, identity theft really causes trouble.
Yeah.
With a lot of things, and especially with the IRS, and it's not an easy fix. So
a lot of time and effort. Police report.
Exactly.
You gotta document the crime.
Exactly. Because then you have to go to the IRS and show them what happened, that you're not liable.
But you need the police report.
I would think that it makes sense to have it anyway.
Every situation we've had with somebody using somebody else's credit, to file a complaint in order to get the ball rolling, you need to file a legal complaint that something bad happened to you in a police report. So
because one of the reasons why it's a crime to file a fake police report. So you must be right. So now you're attesting to the fact that it really did happen, and you're not just making it up.
Oh, there you go. We're going to take a quick break. Come back with the nuggets of knowledge that our experts want to leave our listeners with until we meet again next Saturday at a regularly scheduled program. Guess who's coming on next weekend?
Ray Kaplan.
No, Greg Gardbeau from Chicago Culinary Kitchen. It's a shame he won't be here to enjoy that fine food.
We had a streak here where we were having lunch here.
Right, and we're specifically setting up the foods for when you're not here.
You guys want to learn something from our listeners?
Yeah, go.
LTC is long-term care.
Ah, there you go. Well, thank you, texters, for filling that in. That would make sense. I have a long-term care policy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. 312-981-7200. 312-981-70. Nobody really cares, obviously. 312-981-7200.
That would be the first smart thing that anybody said in a long time.
Is a Mega Pros call text?
It had to come from a texter.
Is a Mega Pros call text and photo line? It's been 2 hours and 47 minutes, so finally we get something. 312-981-7200 is a Mega Pros call text and photo line. This is Home Sweet Home Chicago on 720 WGN.
This is Rich Dykstra from Dykstra Home Services. Did your air conditioner break down at the end of last year? And you said, we'll take care of it next summer. Guess what? Next summer is almost here, and you still need a new unit. We have a preseason sale going on right now on a Carrier high-efficiency system for the best price of the year. Don't delay. Call today. 1-800-421-3220. That's 1-800-421-3220. Or visit WGNCoolingGuy.com. Dykstra Home Services.
Carrier, turn to the experts.
BMO Harris is a proud sponsor of the Home Sweet Home Chicago radio program. If you, like many other homeowners right now, are considering a home renovation project, contact BMO Harris Bank to learn more about how they can help you finance your project. For more information, visit them at bmoharris.com/homesweethome. That's bmoharris.com/homesweethome. Or just click their link on the WGN Home Sweet Home Chicago program page.
It's those 3 little words that everyone is longing to hear. In stock now. Yep, at Builder's Supply Outlet and the Edge Kitchen and Bath, there's no need to wait weeks and weeks to get the white shaker cabinets you want to brighten up your tired old kitchen. Plus, with walls and walls of large-sized quartz and granite countertop samples, it's so much easier to imagine how they might look in your kitchen, rather than those tiny samples at the big box stores. And if you're still uncertain, let their talented designers help you make the best choice. It's what they do. With a wide assortment of hardware, faucets, and luxury vinyl flooring available, you can complete the look you want now. No need to wait to start your home project or get the kitchen of your dreams. I love that. I love that it's in stock now at Builder's Supply Outlet, 5 miles east of the Oak Brook Shopping Mall on Cermak Road at 25th Avenue in Broadview, or buildersupplyoutlet.com.
I decided this year that I wanted all 4 of my doors re-weather stripped. Cold air and hot air were coming in. So I figured before winter came, I wanted to have both screen doors and both wood doors re-weather strips. The one carpenter, Carl, did a great job, worked around me. I had a puppy, so we had to be careful with the doors so she wouldn't run out. He did a great job with it.
We're talking today with mega customer Cheryl Schubert of Skokie.
So I didn't give them any money up front. I couldn't sign the contract until they actually came out to do the work. It was very nice. It was very, very nice.
One mega call does it all.
847-658-8989. 847-658-8989.
Megapros.com.
One mega call does it all.
Home Sweet Home Chicago.
Is there an end to this story?
There is.
Is this chapter 8?
Joe said to me, have a point. Have a point, man.
All right, I'll get straight to the point.
And David said, have an ending.
You have an ending. You lost people. They're gone.
Well, we're waiting.
I got Dykstra texting me. I got an answer for it. I'm like, so does he if you get to the point.
Now, here's David Hochberg and Home Sweet Home Chicago.
Oh, my God, this show's fun.
That was great. 312-981-7200. Real quick story. I was dropping some things off at firehouses up in Northbrook, and I pull up, and a city truck pulls behind me, and I come back out of the door. My car's there. He looks at me. He looks at my bump. He looks at my license plate because it says Hawks on it. And he looks at me, and he points at me, and he goes, "Let's review."
I do like the let's review thing. I think it
I
sounds
started cracking up. I'm like, okay. I'm like, you want to refinance? He's like, no. I'm like, well, okay. Next time you review. Let's review.
I was going to use that in my new spot, but
well, what can't you use? I mean, the only thing
you take everything.
The only thing that people know it's you is fight back now. Everything else sounds like there's a guy. We're going to call him Mike. Why don't you just call him Mike? Why do you have to say there's a guy named Mike?
I'm trying to tell people that I'm not going to.
People assume that.
You can't assume that.
Let's call him Mike.
There's a guy named Mike.
Because remember, I had the other commercial. It was Chuck, and it really was Chuck. Because Chuck gave me the.
Did Chuck get mad at you?
No. Chuck gave me the authority to do that, and I also have an interview with Chuck, and that's where I said go to financial.
Is he thinking of changing his name now?
He is now. Yes. Okay. But his wife's still.
There's a guy
that's in witness protection now.
There's a guy named.
No. Are you Chuck?
I'm doing this commercial about a guy named Mike, but it's really not Mike, so don't worry about it. Mike.
All you Mikes out there.
All you Mike. It's got nothing to do with you. Mike 62, he owed 100 G's on his taxes. Fight back now. One more.
It's your whole commercial right
The only
there.
thing you're missing is the
I'm going to say, let's review.
Well, the only thing you're missing is the NMLS number. So, you want to rip my NMLS number off? There you go. 136675.
I can't say it that fast.
136675. Well, you just say it slow, and then Ernie speeds it up. 312.
Ernie's a genius.
Yeah,
he is a genius.
That goes without saying. What knowledge and nugget of knowledge do you want to leave us other than listen to me on the John Williams show?
Well, now that you just took that thunder away from me. Thanks, Dave.
All right, Corey, back to you.
No, one more thing. I was just
oh, you weren't going to shut him up there.
You're not going to get. I'm not going to be on the ride home with you. How's that?
Glory, hallelujah. It's going to be the best ride home with you downtown.
More room for Portillo's.
Yeah, more room. Yeah. Used to be more room for. I haven't had a double bacon cheeseburger on a ride home in like 7 months.
I had a hot dog last week.
But they're so good. Yeah, you stop by, get a double bacon cheeseburger when you're in your fat stage, and you just pound it with a Diet Coke, of course. If our listeners want to reach
out and someone brought a corned beef factory sandwich.
Awesome. Buddy Pete on Lake Street. They're right down the street. If our listeners want to reach you quick,
David's going to pass out.
Go to WGNtaxman.com.
Corned beef factory on Lake Street with
awesome.
the potato chips, which I haven't had in a good 7-8 months. So thanks. And any other place you want to bring up? Fasano pie? You want to throw that out there? Hey, I had a Fasano pie. It was delicious. Yeah, too bad you can't have any.
Yeah, I'm watching my weight.
Yeah, you're watching it go up. Corey, if our listeners want to reach out to you, what nugget of knowledge do you want to leave our listeners?
Well, I had a lot more content for today, so I'll have to come back on air with you soon, David. I just want you guys to just remember our name, Blue Sky Restoration Contractors. A final farewell to the beloved JC Restoration. It is a beautiful legacy in Chicago. You served this market for so many years. I love the Cruz family. I've loved the leadership at JCR. And now we are Blue Sky. We are one Blue Sky. We're huge in Chicago. We're huge across the United States.
And you love your wife, remember?
Yeah.
It's not funny.
No, come on,
dude.
Don't screw this up. You screwed it up last time.
Why is it funny?
It's Saturday night. It's 1 o'clock. You got another 8 hours before you screw things up.
We had to teach them this.
I know.
I love Blue Sky.
I love Blue
Werner.
Sky.
I love Cruz.
I love my kids. I love my car.
I also love my clips that I get from the show, and you guys keep coming over the top
there
of me.
Okay.
Yes, I love my wife. Thank you for bringing that up.
What's her name? What's her name?
Jennifer Ambrose.
Okay, just want to make sure you remember that. Joe, what do you want to leave us with?
There's a hole about the width of a pencil in the gutter above my front door. I tried silicone and Gorilla Tape. Nothing sticks. What should I use? Flex Seal.
Flex Seal. Okay.
I feel like Lou. You know what I'm saying right now?
Feel like Lou? Or you feel like that
Well,
short?
because I can answer a product question.
Short, chubby guy in the
You can get that at Ace, too. Did I mention that?
There you go.
Megapros.com.
I'm David Hochberg. If you want to reach me during the week, 855-56-DAVID. Go to 56david.com. You want all the information about the contact anybody on the show. All the information can be located at WGNDavid.com. That's WGNDavid.com. I want to thank everybody for listening to this week's show, and we will be on next week. Stay tuned for John Hansen.
I will not be here next week.
Good. But he will be on John Hansen show coming up next. Thanks for everybody for listening. Have a great weekend.
I like to try before I buy. It's Lou Manfredini. Before I make a purchase, I like to see and feel the product. My friends at Access agree. That's why you can walk into their showroom any weekday or weekend by appointment, test ride their stair lifts and residential elevators. Take a ride, check out the finishes, experience the quality craftsmanship. Since 1990, Access are the leaders in ADA general contracting, dedicated to serving those with mobility challenges. From elevators and stair lifts to ramps, bathroom modifications, and more. Access provides dignity and independence so you can stay in your home. Their solution-oriented experts cover all of Illinois, Indiana, and Wisconsin. From a simple bathroom grab bar installation to a whole home modification, there is no job too big or too small. Call 844-IL-LIFTS. That's 844-IL-LIFTS. Or visit allaboutaccess.com and feel free to drop by any one of their showrooms in Roselle, Milwaukee, or Appleton, Wisconsin. And be sure to tell them that Lou sent you.
For over 30 years, Deck Tech has restored, cleaned, and sealed thousands of decks for Chicagoland homeowners. And now Deck Tech offers a new carpentry service. So whether it's a simple repair or new construction of a deck or porch, the experts at Deck Tech will design and build your project with superior craftsmanship. Deck Tech, the leader in deck restoration and now deck repair. Call 800-956-DECK or visit restoreyourdeck.com.
1-800-956-DECK. Call Deck Tech.
It's David Hochberg for my good friend Mike Long, Mike's Landscape Lighting. When we illuminated our home, we hired Mike and his team at Mike's Landscape Lighting. Mike's team did an amazing job, and you wouldn't believe all the compliments we get from all our friends and neighbors who have also hired Mike to illuminate their home. Mike enhanced the curb appeal and improved the security of our home. From accent, pathway, and patio lighting to outdoor event lighting, Mike's Landscape Lighting does it all. Check out all the photos of his work at WGNMike.com. That's WGNMike.com.
When I was diagnosed with cancer, every minute counted. But one call was all it took to get in right away and start treatment within a week.
One call is all it takes at Cancer Treatment Centers of America. Call now at 844-364-CTCA.
Since David Hochberg began his short weight loss journey with Soda Weight Loss, he's knocked off 57 pounds of unhealthy, unwanted fat weight. He says in those commercials he's been overweight most of his life, at least his adult life. It took him decades to put on that extra 60 pounds. With Soda, it's taken him weeks to drop it.